Welcome in, everybody, to What's at the Forefront. I'm Corin Davis, joined by my partner in crime, Max Preston, here to bring you all the local and national coverage you need on this fine Tuesday afternoon. At the top of the hour, girls high school basketball ends their regular season tonight. Hard to believe that we are here. The crazy thing is, too, this side of competition is riddled with talent from top to bottom. We have so many teams who are fighting for an outright district title tonight because of all the work they've done throughout the regular season. I want to start off talking about our biggest takeaway from what we saw during the regular season, Max.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, on the girls' side, it's been so fun to watch this year. Pretty much every class, somebody's got a chance to make a deep playoff run. I mean, you think about 5A, we got Tascosa, Amarillo High. Even Palo Duro has really turned heads this year. 4A, Canyon. In 3A, we got Dalhart, we got Canadian, and Bushland. That's a fun district right there. 2A, Panhandle, obviously, and always can't count out Nazareth in Class 1A.
Fighting for that 27th program title back-to-back. State champions, if you will. I'm trying to say national champions, which honestly, if you put them up against any 1A team in the country, I think they might be able to.
They have a chance, right?
They have a chance. They always do. You know, I narrow in on some storylines with the playoffs. Canyon, this is a team that is vetted in the postseason. They haven't lost since the holidays against Tascosa, an out-of-classification loss at that, but they haven't faced any real challenges during district action. If you ask me, I mean, you could argue that Hereford game was testing at the beginning, but I don't think that they've really seen the true challenge that could come with like the Decaters of the world when they progress deeper into the playoffs. So how do you think when they get into the regional semifinals, the regional finals, they'll respond to those big challenges? Sure,
I think you saw in their non-district, you kind of mentioned that. They faced some 6A schools, 5A schools. They played against Tascosa, lost that game, but still was a close matchup. You were at that one and saw, what kind of atmosphere that was and how they played in that one. Like you said, their district, fell apart a little bit this year. Hereford has been turning some heads. They've been a little surprising this year, and they've looked pretty good. However, like you said, district kind of falls apart when you go away from Canyon. Everybody else, it's kind of like who's going to come out of that district. Obviously, Canyon's going to win it. But I think you saw in that competition against 5A schools and 6A schools that they can hang with those tough teams. Really, in my opinion, whichever bracket they would play in, I think they would make it to at least the regional championship. They might meet Decatur. We'll see what happens. But to me, I'm confident in what they put out on the court. KAMR Grazier, great player. She leads that squad, full head of steam, lots of confidence. I think really, to me, I like the question, but I'm personally not too worried about Canyon. I think they've got a good chance to win state, possibly. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, certainly. There are a couple teams that could panhandle. Nazareth, like you said, I'd love to see a Tascosa Amarillo High Regional Championship game right on the way at the first night at Bank Center. Something else that's really stuck out to us on the boys' side is District 3 5A. They certainly took us for a surprise. Palo Duro specifically on Friday night, defeating Tascosa pretty handily. 80-47. Tascosa was the only ranked 5A team in our area. Now Palo Duro is the only ranked 5A team in our area after that win. But what does that say about Palo Duro right now? 7-game winning streak right now. They're getting hot at the right time.
Exactly. Getting hot at the right time, playing good basketball at the right time as the postseason approaches. That's what you want to see out of your team. And I think about 2 weeks ago, we heard from Coach Loftus. He said something along the lines of they've really bought in. They're playing great basketball right now. And it just took them some time to really gel things together. I really like that statement from him because we definitely saw it against Tascosa. What I was told is that they came out and hit like 3 or 4 straight threes and end up winning 80-47, I believe is what it was. What a game for Palo Duro. I mean, coming into the playoffs, watch out for those guys. Plenty of athletes on that team, plenty of basketball players on that team for sure. I think we see some good things out of Palo Duro, and like I said, statement win against Tascosa.
Absolutely, and that win actually tied Palo Duro, Tascosa, and Amarillo High for the 1 seed out of 3 5A. Palo Duro faces Amarillo High on Friday night. If you're Amarillo High, what are you thinking right now going into this game?
You just stay true to yourself. Obviously play your game of basketball. Obviously, that's a tight district right now. You just have to focus on what you can control. winning basketball games. You got to do what you got to do. And this is going to be a fun district. And, you know, we'll see what happens at Amarillo High. They've got great players on that team. PD, Tascosa, really what they have to do is just control what they can control and play some good basketball.
Yeah, certainly. We'll see which teams come out on top. Next, we are going to take a look that's sitting on the top of the world right now. You won't want to miss it. It's all coming up next on What's at the Forefront. Welcome back into What's at the Forefront. Corin Davis, Max Preston. I think we can all still hear Seattle Seahawks fans celebrating a huge 29-13 Super Bowl victory over the New England Patriots. For normal Super Bowl fans and football fans, if you will, who didn't have a dog in this fight, probably thought this game was a bit underwhelming, simply because both teams couldn't seem to find the end zone until the fourth quarter. But can we make some noise for the Seattle defense? Because not only were they the breakthrough on their side of the ball, but they seemed to be the breakthrough for the offense too. So based on what you saw, Max, how were they able to not only set up the offense for success, but also be able to dismantle a quarterback like Drake May, who was the most accurate quarterback in the league all year long and also was a top MVP candidate this season?
Yeah, they definitely just got pressure all night. You just saw him just gasping for air in the pocket. Really not much time to get the ball out all evening. And really what you saw is, you know, a kind of a inexperienced quarterback, you know, second year in the league, you know, first time in the playoffs, made it to the Super Bowl. That's a tough situation for a player like
Absolutely.
that. And so, I mean, you kind of saw a little bit of inexperience, and maybe that was kind of the problem. Also, people talked about the schedule, the strength of schedule and everything like that. They had the lowest strength of schedule. So really, I mean, there was a lot of knocks against the Patriots, but, you know, still a great season for them. But yeah, that Seattle defense was absolutely suffocating, getting constant pressure, not giving him much time to get the ball out. And I mean, really, the Patriots offense as a whole just did not have an answer all night. And that's really what it was. Pressure. Drake May just did not have any time during the game.
Yeah, I want to talk about the man under center, Sam Darnold. Hard to believe this time last year he was a free agent or didn't know where he was going, where his next home would be. Fast forward a year later, he's a Super Bowl champion, bringing home his first Super Bowl ring. To me, I think that's just a testament to his work ethic and his ability to just trust the process. When you're an athlete in those situations and you go through just the adversity and the hardships of not knowing, or the uncertainty, or just the battle that he had to experience, how fulfilling do you think a win like this is in his career?
Oh, man, I mean, what a great story, right? A very fulfilling win for him, and just a lot of people, you know, talking against him. You know, he starts his career with the Jets, and, you know, the Jets and the Browns are where a lot of quarterback careers go to die and before it even starts, right? So the thing is, I mean, just a great story because he goes from the Jets, he goes to the Panthers, he goes to the 49ers, and he resurges with the Vikings. They get rid of him even after the way he performed.
Which I know they're still very upset about that.
Exactly.
If I'm the Vikings, I'm upset about that.
And we
if
can get
I'm Justin
deeper into
Jefferson,
that as well.
I'm upset about that, okay?
Right, I know. And there's a whole lot to say about that as well. But we're talking about Sam Darnold. So coming over to the Seahawks and playing the way he did, you know, he had the defense he had, so he didn't have to be MVP caliber type of quarterback. You know what I mean? So going throughout the season and having one of the best receivers in the NFL, Jackson Smith and Jigba, what a great guy. I've got him in dynasty. Shout out Jason. So just, you know, the offense did what they had to do and some as well, but the defense, man, was so good. And so to see Sam Darnold get that ring, I was so happy because you want to see a player like that. You know, when they become, even though he got drafted high, they become a bit of a long shot after their career starts so slow, and then he eventually gets that Super Bowl ring. Just what a great story. That's exactly something I like to see is a guy get a second chance, get a Super Bowl ring, and just see the exact story we saw this season. So I'm super proud of Sam Darnold. I love what I saw.
I loved what I saw too, and that's honestly, as a reporter, that's one of the most fulfilling stories. You can see an athlete overcome so much adversity and be able to come out on top like that. Real quick, before we go to break, circling back to the New England Patriots, do you think, you mentioned the inexperience, the youth, do you think this is the start of a new age dynasty in the Patriots franchise?
I'm going to give you a terrible answer. Maybe. I'm going to lean more towards yes. What I saw this season, they played great. Drake May is definitely going to be their franchise quarterback. He's played good enough. Travion Henderson's going to be a great running back. He's new as well. I think, they've got the pieces, and their defense is solid as well. Maybe not a Tom Brady franchise, but I could see them winning a ring or two in the future with Drake May, and I think they've got a good team in store. Final question for you: who you got next year winning the Super Bowl?
I've got the Bills. I'm a closeted Bills fan. And Joe Brady becoming the new head coach. He was on the LSU staff when they won the 2019 national championship game. So, of course, I got to go for the Bills. But the lone question that's still standing, what is life after football look like? Well, Max Preston actually has the answer for you. Coming up next. Stay here with us on What's at the Forefront. Welcome back into What's at the Forefront. Corin Davis, Max Preston here to bring us all the numbers that we need to know after life without football. Life without this thing, Max.
Oh, yeah, I know.
What do we got?
It's sad. Let's get into it. Because, there's so many props and so many things you can bet on in the Super Bowl and football as a whole. But I got you covered. Let's start taking a look here on the screen. We're going to start out with NBA All-Star Weekend this weekend. There's some fun bets you can make in this one. Obviously, you got the three-point contest winner. Damian Lillard has not played a game for the Blazers this year. He signed a new contract coming back to his team that he knows and loves, spends most of his career with. But he's still going to play in the three-point contest, which is honestly really crazy. He's the 350 favorite as well, which is kind of nuts considering the field you got. But Damian Lillard, plus 350 favorite. By the way, if you don't know what plus and minus is, when it's minus, they're usually a favorite in whatever matchup it is. Minus means you have to bet that amount of money to win $100. So if it's minus 170, you bet minus 170, you get $100 plus that bet back. But plus means if you bet $100, you win $350 plus that bet back. Just for those that don't know. But
taking notes, everybody.
Taking notes out here. We're learning. Damian Lillard, though, great story. He's going to do the three-point contest even though he's hurt. NBA All-Star MVP overall, Victor Wembanyama. We got plus 580 favorite. They'll play that game out. I think maybe he gets his first MVP. We'll see what happens.
Okay.
Dunk contest winner. In a year where it's pretty dry, not very exciting in the dunk contest, sadly, Jackson Hayes, Carter Bryant are co-favorites, plus 174. Now let's move on. We're talking UFC. Love me some UFC, Corin.
So is it some midweight fighting? Not heavyweight.
Not heavyweight. It is middleweight. Yeah, we got a middleweight
fighting. See,
fight
we're learning.
here.
We're learning. In class today.
This is the middleweight division. Sean Strickland, former champ, actually, he's going up against a good, solid fighter, Anthony Hernandez. Anthony Hernandez will be the favorite in that one, minus 270. Sean Strickland is the underdog, plus 220. You can also, plenty of other bets you can take. You can take over under rounds. So they'll go 5 rounds. You can bet for them to go basically the distance, over 4.5 rounds, basically get close to going the distance, go and make a decision going over 4.5 rounds. That's minus 165. Or you can go under. They finish. They get a knockout, submission, doctor stoppage, whatever, plus 109. Also, like I said, you can bet who or how the fight finishes, end in decision, KO, TKO, or submission. You can pick how the fight ends. Is it going to be left up to the judges with the decision, or do we got a knockout, or do we got a submission? So
you're knocking it out of the park right now, Max.
Plenty of things that you can bet on. You got plenty. Now we got one more. Let's talk some golf. I love me some golf. PGA Tour, man. Love watching it. So this week is the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am, a signature event and a very fun tournament usually for the PGA Tour going on this weekend. So here's the thing. You can pick the winner, but I looked at the rest. You got top 5, you got top 10, top 20. You can bet how a guy will finish. A guy not named Scotty Scheffler, obviously. We're going with Victor Hovland. He's a solid player on tour. Hasn't won a major just yet, but still a great player. Has several wins. You can pick him to win, plus 2,600. Obviously, it's not fun to pick the winner, especially before a tournament starts in PGA. It's just you never know what's going to happen in golf. But you can go down to top 5. He's plus 560. You can go to top 10, plus 250. And then you can pick him to finish top 20 for the weekend, which to me, that's a safe bet, minus 104. And there's a lot of players that you can definitely, scope out finishing in the top 20. Also, what people like to do, matchups. So whether a guy's playing with a guy during that round or just if they're not playing together at all, you can still look at most of your betting sites and they'll have a matchup. So for instance, I got Tommy Fleetwood versus Colin Morikawa. You can pick if Tommy's going to win the round, or you can pick if Colin's going to win the round. So plenty of things you can go with there on golf. If Spieth is playing against Scotty Scheffler, I'd probably pick Scotty Scheffler right now. He's just playing crazy golf. But yeah, you can go with matchups, one guy versus another guy. So plenty of routes you can take. Plenty of betting you can do without the Super Bowl, without football. There's so much that you can talk about and so much that you can look at with your bookie.
Certainly. Real quick,
Yes.
one last piece of advice for somebody who hasn't bet or is unfamiliar. What do you recommend they do?
Hasn't betted at all?
Hasn't bet at all.
I would just say start with like some basketball games. Like pick the winner in a basketball game, money line, who's going to win. Then you can dip into spreads, who's going to win by how much points, or are they going to cover? I would just start with like right now. Start with like basketball, something like that, something slow, picking a winner. And then move to this stuff after.
Okay, awesome. Well, speaking of basketball, we have more high school basketball coverage, even college coverage coming your way tonight on KAMR and moving forward in the next several weeks as the postseason plays out. We appreciate you joining us. Max Preston, Corian Davis. We will see you next time on What's at the Forefront.